Welcome to my channel. HD Rare Coins 111. In this video I tell you about the United States of America Roosevelt Dimes, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of American numismatics, with a special focus on a coin that's captured the imagination of collectors across the globe, the United States Roosevelt Dime, specifically the 1999 version. The Roosevelt Dime, first introduced in 1946, has become a cornerstone of American coinage. But this 1999 issue? Well, it's one that has taken many by surprise, both in terms of its history and its incredible value. So sit back, relax, and let's take a journey into the world of coins, history, and a little bit of luck. To understand the significance of the 1999 Roosevelt Dime, we first need to take a step back and explore the history of the dime itself. The Roosevelt Dime was introduced in 1946, just 1 year after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had led the United States through some of its most turbulent times during the Great Depression and World War II. The decision to feature Roosevelt on the dime was made not just as a tribute to his leadership, but also because of his work with the March of Dimes, a charity he founded to combat polio, a disease that claimed his own life. The dime was initially designed by John R. Sinek, who, at the time, was the chief engraver at the U.S. Mint. The design itself is simple yet elegant, Roosevelt's profile facing left, with Liberty inscribed above and the year of mintage below. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbolizing unity, peace, and strength, respectively. It's a design that, even after more than 7 decades, still holds strong in the American imagination. But what makes the 1999 Roosevelt Dime so unique in this long history of dimes? Why does this particular year capture the attention of coin collectors worldwide? Well, the answer is a mix of rare occurrences, minting anomalies, and of course, a bit of luck. Let's talk about that point. 1999 was a significant year for the United States Mint, as it marked the tail end of the 20th century and was a year of transition for the country. The minting process in 1999 was largely the same as in years prior, with coins being struck in the U.S. Mint's facilities across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1999 dimes, like most dimes of the era, were struck in a copper-nickel composition, with each coin featuring the same iconic design that had been in use since the mid-20th century. However, there's something special about certain 1999 dimes that has led to them being highly sought after. During this time, the U.S. Mint was dealing with the complexities of managing large volumes of coins due to the growing population and the increased demand for currency in the late 1990s. The dimes produced that year came with some unique quirks, notably some minor yet significant errors. Collectors are always on the lookout for these types of imperfections, as they can make the coin considerably rarer and more valuable. These are known as error coins, and they can occur during the minting process when something goes awry, whether it's an engraving mistake, a misaligned die, or an accidental doubling of the design point. One of the more notable varieties of the 1999 Roosevelt Dime is the 1999 W Dime. Most dimes from this era were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, but a special batch of dimes was produced at the West Point Mint, known for producing gold and silver bullion coins. These special dimes, marked with a W mint mark, were intended to be part of a special set to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt Dime, but they were released into circulation in much smaller quantities than expected, making them incredibly rare. While the 1999 W Dime wasn't officially released as part of a public coinage series, it became a hidden gem for collectors who were able to spot it in circulation. However, the value of the 1999 Roosevelt Dime doesn't just lie in its minting errors or rare varieties. The design itself, steeped in American history, holds a certain sentimental value for many collectors. The dimes, especially the 1999 editions, evoke a sense of nostalgia, bringing to mind a simpler time when Roosevelt's face graced the pocket change of many Americans, symbolizing stability and progress. As more and more collectors begin to understand the rich history behind the coin and the uniqueness of the 1999 issue, their demand increases, further boosting the value of these coins. Now, let's talk numbers. What is the actual value of a 1999 Roosevelt dime, and why does it command such attention? Well, it's not just about the coin's design or its historical significance. In the world of coin collecting, rarity plays a key role in determining a coin's value. Most 1999 dimes are worth just 10 cents, the face value they've always held. However, for those who happen to come across a rare 1999 W dime, they can expect to see much higher prices, sometimes reaching into the thousands of dollars. A pristine example of a 1999 W Roosevelt dime can fetch anywhere from $50 to $200, depending on its condition and rarity. But here's the real kicker. If you're lucky enough to find a 1999 Roosevelt dime with an error, whether that be a misstruck coin, a doubled die, or an off-center strike, you're in for a big reward. Some of these error coins have been known to sell for as much as $40,000, or even more, depending on the severity and rarity of the mistake. The combination of the historical legacy, the rarity of the coin, and the intrigue of the minting errors has turned the 1999 Roosevelt dime into one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in modern American numismatics. So, how do you go about finding one of these rare 1999 dimes? Well, it takes a keen eye, a bit of patience, and a little bit of luck. Many collectors advise thoroughly checking your pocket change, especially if you've recently made a trip to the bank or have been handling older rolls of coins. If you come across a 1999 dime with a W mint mark, or if you spot any unusual errors in the coin's design, you may have just found a hidden treasure. It's also worth checking out coin shops, auctions, and online marketplaces like eBay, where these dimes are often traded at premium prices. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Why is this 1999 Roosevelt dime worth so much? Well, the value is the result of a unique confluence of factors: the historical significance of the Roosevelt design, the rarity of the 1999 W dimes, and the widespread interest in error coins. When you combine all of these elements, you get a coin that's more than just a piece of currency. It becomes a piece of history, a symbol of the past, and a valuable collector's item. And if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare dimes in your collection, you could be looking at a valuable asset worth tens of thousands of dollars. As with all things in the world of coin collecting, the value of the 1999 Roosevelt dime is subject to fluctuations in the market, as trends and interest in specific coins evolve over time. However, one thing is certain: this coin will remain a favorite among collectors and a valuable piece of American history for years to come. So, there you have it, the fascinating world of the 1999 Roosevelt dime. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to explore the hobby, this coin offers a perfect blend of history, rarity, and potential value. Keep your eyes peeled, because the next time you flip through your change, you might just uncover a hidden treasure worth a small fortune. Top 2. Everyone, to today's deep dive into one of America's most iconic coins, the Roosevelt dime, and more specifically, the one that was minted in 2004. If you're a collector, an enthusiast, or even just someone curious about coins, you're in for a treat. This coin may seem simple at first glance, but there's far more to it than meets the eye. We'll explore the history behind the Roosevelt dime, the intricacies of the 2004 version, the minting process, the collector appeal, and finally, we'll reveal how much a rare 2004 Roosevelt dime can actually be worth today. The Roosevelt dime has a rich history, having first been introduced in 1946. The decision to feature Franklin D. Roosevelt on this coin wasn't merely about honoring a former president. It was a tribute to his leadership during one of the most challenging periods in American history. Franklin D. Roosevelt, who served as president during the Great Depression and World War II, was also instrumental in founding the March of Dimes, a charity to combat polio, a disease that had affected him personally. His face on the dime, therefore, was a fitting tribute to his efforts, both as a leader and as a philanthropist. But why are we talking about the 2004 Roosevelt dime? The story starts with the enduring design of the coin itself, which has remained largely unchanged since its inception. The coin's front features a profile of Roosevelt, facing left, with the word Liberty inscribed above. Below Roosevelt's profile is the year of mintage, in this case, 2004, and to the left is a small mint mark that tells us where the coin was struck. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find a classic design, a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch. The torch represents freedom, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch stands for strength. Simple, elegant, and powerful. The 2004 Roosevelt Dime was produced in the same way as previous versions, with little variation in design. However, there's always more than meets the eye in the world of coin collecting. While the Roosevelt Dime has been a reliable and stable part of American currency for decades, it's also a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors for its understated elegance and rich symbolism. And with every new year's release, subtle differences can be found, making each year's issue slightly unique. Now, let's talk about the specific minting of the 2004 Roosevelt Dime. As with most years, the 2004 dime was minted in 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. These dimes were struck in a clad copper-nickel composition, a material that has been used for decades in dimes. This composition was a deliberate decision made by the U.S. Mint to maintain the integrity and durability of the coin. Each dime produced in 2004 has a standard weight of 2.27 grams and a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, measuring out to the familiar size that most of us are used to seeing in our pocket change. The 2004 dimes were produced in vast quantities, as they are used in everyday transactions across the country. In fact, over 1.3 billion dimes were minted that year. But here's where the story starts to get interesting. Despite the massive production of these coins, there are specific varieties of the 2004 Roosevelt Dime that have drawn considerable attention in the numismatic community. These varieties aren't necessarily about design changes, but rather about minor imperfections and features that make a particular coin more valuable. For example, one of the key things collectors look for in the 2004 dimes are the mint marks, especially the ones struck in Philadelphia, which do not carry a mint mark. Coins struck in Denver will feature a D, and those from San Francisco are often marked with an S. Though the 2004 dimes from San Francisco were primarily struck for proof sets and are not often found in circulation. One particularly noteworthy feature that has caused some excitement in the coin community is the presence of a double die error in a few of the 2004 dimes. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck twice by the dies, creating a visible doubling of the design on the coin. This can be seen most often in the lettering or numbers on the coin. In the case of the 2004 Roosevelt Dime, certain coins show a slight doubling in the date or in the word Liberty. These subtle imperfections can make a huge difference in the value of the coin, as they are rare and highly sought after by collectors. But there's more to the 2004 Roosevelt Dime than just its minting anomalies. As with many coins, the historical context can greatly influence its appeal. In 2004, the United States was in the midst of a period of intense political and social change. The country was facing challenges abroad, especially with the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and at home, there was a growing interest in issues related to the economy, national security, and social welfare. These larger historical forces, combined with the symbolism inherent in Roosevelt's image, symbolizing leadership and resilience, made the 2004 Roosevelt Dime not just a piece of currency, but a piece of history. For many collectors, coins from this period represent a moment in time, a snapshot of an era that is constantly shifting. The 2004 Roosevelt Dime is a reminder of the nation's ongoing journey, making it a coin with a deep connection to American identity. Collectors who are passionate about preserving these pieces of history often seek out specific years, like 2004, as a way to chronicle the passage of time. So, what makes the 2004 Roosevelt Dime truly valuable, beyond its simple design or its place in history? The answer lies in its rarity and the types of errors that can be found. As we've discussed, the 2004 dimes produced in vast quantities, but errors like the double die or even specific minting varieties can make the value of certain coins soar. These rare varieties are what separate the ordinary coins from those that are highly prized in the numismatic world. Now, let's talk about the real treasure, the value of the 2004 Roosevelt Dime. If you have a standard 2004 dime, it's worth only its face value, 10 cents. However, if you happen to have a coin with a minting error or one of the rarer varieties, things get much more interesting. A 2004 Roosevelt dime with a double die error or another significant flaw can sometimes sell for thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and visibility of the error. In fact, a pristine example of a 2004 double die error dime can fetch upwards of $35,000 at auction. Why such a high price for what seems like such a small coin? It all comes down to rarity, desirability, and the thrill of the hunt. When you add in the fact that these error coins are not commonly found in circulation, especially in good condition, you can begin to see why collectors are willing to pay such a premium for them. The 2004 Roosevelt Dime, with its subtle variations and its connection to American history, is one of those coins that continues to captivate the imagination of collectors. Whether they are seasoned pros or newcomers to the hobby. So, what can you do to find one of these valuable 2004 dimes? It takes a keen eye and a bit of luck. Be sure to check your pocket change and carefully examine any 2004 dimes you come across. Look for the subtle signs of doubling, and don't forget to check the mint marks for the rare San Francisco strikes. If you're serious about building a collection, consider purchasing 2004 dimes from reputable dealers or checking online auction sites, where error coins can sometimes be listed at premium prices. And there you have it, the fascinating world of the 2004 Roosevelt Dime. From its iconic design to the rarity of minting errors, this little coin holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. If you're lucky enough to stumble upon a rare variety, you might just find yourself holding a coin worth thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. Keep searching, keep learning, and who knows? The next time you check your change, you might just uncover a hidden treasure. Top 3. We're diving into the fascinating world of one of America's most iconic coins, the Roosevelt Dime, specifically the 2016 edition. The Roosevelt Dime, first introduced in 1946, has become a staple of American currency, and the 2016 issue is no exception. But what makes this particular year special? What hidden gems might you find in a simple dime from 2016? Stick around to find out the surprising value of this coin at the end, and join me as we uncover the history, design, and potential of the 2016 Roosevelt Dime. Let's start with some background. The Roosevelt Dime was first released in 1946, just 1 year after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. His image on the coin was not just a tribute to his presidency, but also to his immense contribution to the fight against polio through the March of Dimes Foundation. The coin was designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. The design of the Roosevelt Dime has remained largely unchanged for decades, with the only significant alterations being updates to the coin's composition and the introduction of special collector versions. Roosevelt's profile graces the obverse front of the coin, while the reverse features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, representing freedom, peace, and strength, respectively. But now let's focus on 2016, an important year not just for American politics, but for the world of coin collecting. The minting process for the 2016 Roosevelt Dime was largely the same as in past years, but as always, there were subtle variations that would interest collectors. Let's break down the details. In 2016, the U.S. Mint struck more than 1 billion Roosevelt Dimes, which is typical of most years. The dimes produced that year were made from a clad copper-nickel composition, meaning they had a copper core with a nickel outer layer. This has been the standard for dimes since the 1960s, providing durability while keeping the cost of production low. Each dime weighs 2.27 grams, with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. These specifications are standard for the Roosevelt Dime, ensuring consistency across different years of production. But let's take a closer look at the variations within the 2016 dimes. As with most coins, there are certain factors that set apart the ordinary from the extraordinary. The 2016 Roosevelt Dime was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced the vast majority of these coins, and these dimes typically do not carry a mint mark. Coins struck at the Denver Mint have a D mint mark, while those from San Francisco bear the S mark. While these mint marks may seem like a small detail, collectors know that they can make a big difference in the rarity and value of a coin. In 2016, there were no significant design changes to the Roosevelt Dime, but that doesn't mean there weren't some interesting nuances. One of the most important features for collectors to look for is the coin's condition. Coins that are well preserved, with sharp details and no visible wear, are much more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. While most 2016 dimes will have been in and out of people's pockets and wallets, there are certainly examples that have remained in excellent condition, making them more desirable to collectors. There were also some special proof sets and uncirculated versions of the 2016 Roosevelt Dime released by the U.S. Mint. These versions were struck at the San Francisco Mint and were primarily sold to collectors. The proof versions of the coin are made with a special process that gives them a shiny, mirror-like finish. These coins are not intended for general circulation and are highly sought after for their pristine quality. But what really sets the 2016 Roosevelt Dime apart in the world of coin collecting are the subtle errors that sometimes occur during the minting process. As with any year of coin production, there are occasional mistakes that happen in the pressing process, and these mistakes can make certain coins extremely valuable. In 2016, there were reports of some dimes having slightly off-center strikes, where the design wasn't perfectly aligned on the coin. These off-center dimes, particularly those that show a significant misalignment, are rarer and more valuable than their correctly struck counterparts. Other types of errors that collectors look for in 2016 dimes include die cracks, where the metal shows cracks on the coin's surface, and double die errors, where the design appears to be slightly duplicated. These types of mistakes, although small, can cause a coin to be worth much more than its face value. But remember, error coins are not easy to find, and you'll need to carefully examine each dime you come across to spot the imperfections. Now, let's move on to the part that every collector wants to know: what is the value of a 2016 Roosevelt Dime? Most 2016 dimes, when in average circulation condition, are worth only their face value of 10 cents. But as we've seen, there are certain factors, mint marks, proof versions, and most importantly, error coins, that can cause the value of a 2016 dime to skyrocket. For the majority of dimes from 2016, the value won't exceed the cost of a cup of coffee, but if you're lucky enough to stumble upon a rare minting error or a perfectly preserved proof coin, you could be sitting on a small fortune. For example, a well-preserved proof coin from San Francisco could be worth anywhere from $10 to $50, depending on its condition. These coins, due to their limited production and high quality, are often prized by collectors. However, the real jackpot lies in finding a 2016 Roosevelt Dime with a significant error, such as a double die or a major off-center strike. These error coins, because of their rarity, can be worth much more. The most extraordinary cases of 2016 Roosevelt Dimes have been known to fetch upwards of $10,000. That's right. One lucky collector recently sold a 2016 off-center Roosevelt Dime for $10,000 at an auction. The coin was graded by a professional numismatist and authenticated as a rare error coin, and that rarity drove the price to such incredible heights. While finding such a coin might seem like a long shot, it's exactly these types of rare errors that make coin collecting so exciting. You never know what hidden treasure might be in your pocket or your collection. If you're wondering how you can get your hands on a valuable 2016 Roosevelt Dime, here are a few tips. Start by carefully searching through your change, especially if you've recently gotten coins from the bank or checked out rolls of coins. Look for any signs of errors like off-center strikes or double die effects. If you're not sure about a coin's value, don't hesitate to take it to a reputable coin dealer or have it professionally graded by an expert. A small investment in a coin's authentication and grading could pay off big if you have a rare version of the 2016 dime. Another option is to look for 2016 dimes on online auction sites like eBay, where collectors buy and sell these coins regularly. Auctions can be a great way to find rare era coins, but always be cautious and ensure you're dealing with a trusted seller. So, there you have it, the fascinating world of the 2016 Roosevelt Dime. From its historical design to the rare and valuable errors that make it a gem for collectors, this coin is more than just pocket change. While the majority of 2016 dimes are worth only a few cents, those with special characteristics or errors can fetch thousands of dollars. With the potential to find one of these rare coins, the world of coin collecting remains as exciting and full of opportunity as ever. Top 4. Today's journey takes us into the world of one of America's most enduring and iconic coins, the Roosevelt Dime. We're diving into the specific 2003 edition of this beloved coin, a piece of history that might seem ordinary at first glance, but as you'll soon discover, it holds a secret that has captivated collectors for years. Get comfortable, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know the fascinating story behind the 2003 Roosevelt Dime, but also the jaw-dropping value of this coin. You won't believe the final reveal, so make sure you stick around until the end. Let's begin with a brief history lesson. The Roosevelt Dime has been a fixture in American currency since 1946, designed by John R. Sinnock, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The coin was introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. Roosevelt, a beloved figure in American history, was not only the president who guided the country through the Great Depression and World War II, but he was also the founder of the March of Dimes, a nonprofit organization focused on fighting polio. His efforts to battle this debilitating disease were deeply personal, as he himself had been afflicted with polio in his youth. The decision to place Roosevelt's image on the dime was a tribute to both his political legacy and his dedication to public health. The design of the Roosevelt Dime is simple yet powerful, capturing the essence of the man it was meant to honor. The obverse front of the coin features a left-facing profile of Roosevelt, while the reverse shows a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch. Each of these elements symbolizes a different aspect of Roosevelt's legacy: freedom, peace, and strength. Now, let's focus on the 2003 Roosevelt Dime. The minting of dimes that year followed the same general procedure as previous years, but as always, there are subtle nuances and interesting details that make the 2003 coin stand out. While the design of the Roosevelt Dime remained unchanged, there were still certain variations in how these coins were produced. For example, the 2003 dimes were minted at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. These locations are significant because the mint mark on the coin tells us where it was struck. Philadelphia coins typically lack a mint mark, Denver coins bear the D mint mark, and San Francisco coins feature the S mint mark. But what does this mean for collectors? Well, for most people, a 2003 Roosevelt Dime from your pocket change won't be worth much more than 10 cents. But for collectors, certain features can dramatically increase the value of a coin. One key factor is the condition of the coin. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth far more than those that have been heavily circulated. The more details that are visible, the higher the value. Most dimes that enter circulation are worn, but dimes that remain in mint condition, especially those from proof sets, are treasures in the coin collecting world. One of the most exciting aspects of the 2003 Roosevelt Dime, particularly for era coin enthusiasts, is the potential for rare minting mistakes. The world of era coins is a fascinating one, and the 2003 dimes are no exception. Era coins occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, and these mistakes can make a coin incredibly valuable. For example, a double die error happens when a coin is struck twice by the dies, causing a doubling effect on the design. In 2003, a few dimes were found with such errors, and these rare misprints can be worth far more than the typical dime. Another potential error in 2003 dimes is the off-center strike. Off-center strikes occur when the coin is not perfectly aligned with the die, resulting in a design that is imprinted in the wrong position on the coin. This type of error is highly sought after by collectors, as it's a clear indication of a mistake in the production process. These coins are typically quite rare, which only adds to their value. While most dimes are made of a copper-nickel clad composition, the 2003 Roosevelt dime is no different in that respect. The copper-nickel clad dimes are durable and have a bright, silvery appearance, but they are mass-produced in enormous quantities, making most coins relatively easy to find. In fact, the total number of 2003 dimes minted that year was over 1.5 billion, which means that unless you come across a rare error coin or one in near-perfect condition, your standard 2003 dime will only be worth its face value of 10 cents. But what makes the 2003 Roosevelt dime so valuable, you ask? Well, despite the overwhelming number of dimes minted that year, the rarity and desirability of certain types of 2003 dimes have caused their value to rise significantly. The key here is understanding that rare error coins, whether it's a double die, an off-center strike, or another minting flaw, can push the value of the coin into the thousands of dollars. And the 2003 Roosevelt dime is one of those coins that has become highly coveted among serious collectors. Some 2003 dimes with significant errors, particularly double die errors or extreme off-center strikes, have been sold at auction for astronomical prices. The most prized of these coins are those that have been certified and graded by professional numismatists. Grading is a system used to assess the condition of a coin, and coins with higher grades are more valuable. For example, a coin that has been graded as MS67, mint state 67, is in near-perfect condition, while one with a lower grade, such as VF20, very fine 20, is considered to be in more worn or circulated condition. The value of a 2003 Roosevelt dime can vary greatly depending on its rarity and condition. Standard dimes in circulated condition might be worth only a few cents above face value, but rare errors and uncirculated versions can fetch thousands of dollars. In fact, a 2003 Roosevelt dime with a rare error and in excellent condition has been known to sell for as much as $22,000 at auction. That's right. This seemingly ordinary dime could be worth more than many people's cars. How is this possible? Well, it all comes down to the rarity of the coin and the demand from collectors. Error coins are always in high demand, and when one of these rare coins hits the market, collectors compete to add it to their collections. The 2003 Roosevelt dime, with its potential for minting errors, has become one of the most sought-after coins for error collectors, and that's why its value can skyrocket to impressive heights. Now, you might be wondering how to go about finding one of these valuable 2003 dimes. The best way to start is by carefully examining any 2003 dimes that come into your possession. Look for any signs of minting errors, like double dies or off-center strikes. If you find one, take it to a reputable coin dealer or have it graded by a professional to determine its value. If you're serious about coin collecting, you can also consider buying 2003 dimes in bulk or through coin dealers who specialize in rare coins. Additionally, online auctions are a great place to find rare 2003 Roosevelt dimes. Websites like eBay feature auctions for rare coins, including those with minting errors. Just be sure to do your research and buy from trusted sellers who provide proper documentation for the coin's authenticity. So, there you have it. The 2003 Roosevelt dime may seem like just another dime from your pocket change, but as you've learned today, this little coin has the potential to be worth much, much more. Whether it's an off-center strike, a double die error, or simply a well-preserved proof version, the 2003 Roosevelt dime has captured the attention of collectors and is considered one of the most valuable dimes in circulation today. With the potential to fetch up to $22,000, it's no wonder that coin collectors are eager to get their hands on this rare and highly coveted piece of American history. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2003 Roosevelt dime. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more updates on rare and valuable coins. Have you ever found a rare coin? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting. You never know what treasure might be hiding in your pocket.